Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Monday, May 11th, 2020. We are in the first day of the new trading week and the last hour of the trading day. In my opinion, the most valid time to make the majority of your buying and selling decisions is right at the end of the day, in the last hour, particularly in the last few minutes. I mention this because during the day, the algorithms, day traders, those are the groups that are in control of the price. They're controlling the price, moving the price around. At the end of the day, you have the large financial institutions coming in. They're dealing with the most money. They have very smart people, best technology, best information. And at the end of the day, in the last hour, they take control of the prices. They start moving the prices instead of the day traders and algorithms. And I like to make the majority of my buying and selling decisions based upon what they are doing. So anyway, thank you all for coming today. I always appreciate it. It's nice to see you. I always look forward to seeing everyone. We've had an interesting day today. We were down earlier in the day quite a bit, and we've had a big rally off of the lows. The Dow was down over 200 points at one point. Now it's actually up. NASDAQ is up 117 points, up 1.29%, clear winner of the day. And the S&P is up 13.69, up 0.47. So the NASDAQ has been very, very strong today. All right, let's take a look, see who's here. Hey, David is here. Good to see you. Appreciate you coming. Quad Racer, hey, buddy. Good to see you. Looking forward to our lesson on Wednesday. Good afternoon, everyone, and happy Monday. Happy Monday to you. Kenny from South Park. I love Kenny from South Park. How you doing? Good to see you. Appreciate you coming by. Nice to have you. Kamal is here. Hey, bud. Good to see you. Hope you had a good weekend. Thank you for coming as always. Scatty13. Hello, Greg and all. Hello, Scatty. Good to see you. Miko25. Nice having you here, and it was good catching up with you over the weekend. Dan says, hey, everybody, over the weekend, flip through the channels. Liz Ann Saunders was on Stephanopoulos' show. Oh, our overnight trade lady. Interesting. So, all right. Well, here is the plan for today. First of all, we're going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we're going to come back. We're going to take a look at my current positions. We're going to talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, how I'm going to manage them going forward. Then some of you have been kind enough to share some of your trades with me. I'm going to go through those, take a look, see how they're doing. And some of them are doing really well that I've noticed for sure. After that, we're going to spend just a few minutes on trader psychology. I mention this each day, but it's very important to learn how to trade. It's very important to learn about indicators, entries, exits, position sizing, all that kind of stuff. But you do that in order to be able to create a trading plan. But following that plan is a whole other challenge. And if you find yourself not being able to follow the original plan that you set up, then you have some work to do. That is the skill that you need to develop. You've developed the skill of creating a plan, but you need to develop a skill of following the plan as well. It's very important. So it's so important. I like to talk about it every single day. That's how strongly I feel about it. After that, we are going to go down through my watch list. I have 3 requirements whenever I look to enter a new position. First requirement is 1, look for a combination or a confluence of indicators lining up. I look at each indicator like MACD, RSI, moving averages. I look at those as potential groups of buyers, and you will increase your chances dramatically of having a profitable trade if you are in the company with as many other buyers as possible. Think about it. If you're the only buyer and everyone's a seller, then you're not going to have a very good chance of the stock going up, right? So you want to be with other groups of buyers. And when I look at indicators, I look at those as groups of buyers. And when I see groups of buyers lining up, multiple groups of buyers lining up, that's when I want to enter my trade. Number 2, I want to make sure I have a good risk to reward ratio based upon my filters. And my filters are generally RSI levels, ATR channels, major moving averages. I want to be able to make sure I can make 2 times to the upside compared to what my possible loss is to the downside based upon valid resistance above me and based upon valid support below me. Then lastly, just make sure you do not have too many correlated positions. I mean, if you have 5 oil positions and it goes up, you're going to do great. But if they go down, they're probably all going to go down together. So let's, vary it up a little bit. Let's, let's have some in tech, and let's have some in oil, and let's have some in healthcare or whatever. But it's good to be diversified, and it's also good to be diversified even outside of equities like bonds, gold, oil, silver, etc. So I'm going to go down through the watch list. If I see something on first glance, I'll mark it off. At the end of the day, I'll go through the potential candidates and I'll look to see which one looks just the very, 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 very best confluence of indicators, best risk to reward. And if I find something good at the end of the day, then I'll go ahead and place the trade. After that, when the market closes, if you have any questions for me, please let me know. I'm happy to answer them. If you need any clarification on anything I discuss, please let me know. Happy to clarify. If there's any stock symbols you'd like me to look at, please type them in. If there's a stock symbol that you'd like me to look at before the market closes, please go ahead and type it in the chat. Put a star by it so I know that it is time sensitive. And by the way, I like putting your trades up so we can follow them. But if you can, do me a favor, put the trades, type in the trades that you've taken after the market closes. So that will give me more time during the day. Lately, I've been putting in trades a lot, and it kind of takes away from the teaching and so forth. So I'm happy to do that, but after the market closes. Okay, if I could ask you that favor. So all right, well, that's the plan for today. I'm going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. I'll be back in about 40 seconds, so please hang tight. Thank you. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you. All right, I made a mistake. I hit the long disclaimer instead of the short disclaimer. Apologize for that. Oh man. All right, well, that's how it goes. Frank is here. Good to see you, Frank. Thanks for coming. Marco, good to see you, Marco. Hope you're having a nice evening. In Slovenia, Quad Racer says, kicking myself for not buying some Teladoc shares. They are up massively today. Yes, I saw that. Well, listen, in trading, you're going to go through that a lot, Quad Racer, where you think about buying something, maybe you don't quite have the setup, and then you don't buy it and it goes up. You're like, dang it. I totally agree, but you have to get used to that. That happens a lot for sure. There will be times that you don't buy it and it will go down and you're glad that you didn't. GM is here. Hey, good to see you. Appreciate you being here. Zach is here. Hello, Greg and friends. Hello, Zach. Steve Burns is here. Hey, buddy. Good to see you, my friend. Always an honor. Always a privilege to have you here. Hope you and Holly had a good weekend and the dogs, but thank you so much for visiting every day. I really appreciate it. Frank has a poem. Stocks go up and they go down, but what counts to a trader is to be around. I like that. Long-term results are the name of the game, and rules exist to sharpen our aim. Man, that is just first freaking rate right there, Frank. Stocks go up and they go down, but what counts to a trader is to be around. Long-term results are the name of the game, and rules exist to sharpen our aim. That is just so good. The key part in there is to be around. The key part is to be around. You're never going to get good as a trader unless you are around to gain experience. And if you start trading too large, too quickly, and you lose all your money, you're not going to be able to have experience. And like I said, you need experience to get good. So, man, that's first rate. Frank says, for a trader, success is less loss and more gain. Okay, sorry, I didn't catch the second part there. Let me fix that up. Okay, sorry about that, Frank. So the last part is, for a trader, success is less loss and more gain. 100%. Quad Racer, yep. The setup was kind of weak. I guess we can't win them all. That's exactly right. I looked at that and I was like, could I have divined a setup out of there? And I really couldn't. It was one of the ones I was thinking about. It was one of the only few that I was thinking about, actually, but it wasn't quite there. Kevin Frost, good to see you, Kevin. Appreciate you being here. Hope you're having a good day. All right, well, let's get to it. Boeing. I did buy Boeing back on the 7th of May. I bought it when we had this V2. Here's day 1, day 2, day 3. Day 2 washes out day 1. Day 3 closes above day 1. Closed in the value zone. In addition, we also tested this previous low over here, this low of this bottom range here. So I had two confluences, a V2, but in addition also tested, we had a false breakout the one day to the downside and right back up. I bought it at 128.49, had a good day on Friday, did hit a profit target, took a little off the table. Today it's down 2.8%. Did not move more than 1 ATR for my entry, so there is no trailing stop as yet. Still profitable on the trade, barely, but again, this kind of shows you why I like to scale out when it moves my way, because you never know if it's just going to turn right back around, and if it does, then I'm happy to have scaled out at some higher prices. SLV also down today. I did buy SLV back here on the 7th of May. I bought it at 14.25 when we had the 520 crossover. Moved up nicely on Friday. I think I hit 2 profit targets on Friday. It did get above 1 ATR for my entry, and when it does that, I start trailing the stop. Today it's an inside bar, so no change in the weather right here. SPY, speaking of Liz Ann Saunders, so I do buy the SPY every day at the close, and I hold it overnight. I take the overnight risk and I sell it first thing the next morning. This is based upon a study from Liz Ann Saunders that we were just talking about at Bespoke Invest. Since 1993, they tested 2 approaches to buying the SPY. The first, They tested buying the SPY at the open, holding through the day, selling at the close. If you would have used this approach every day, you'd had a negative 13.9% return for all your problems and all your trouble. The second approach is what I use, is buying the SPY at the close each day, holding it overnight, taking the overnight risk, selling it first thing the next morning. This approach, positive 634.2% return. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. That is true. It may never work again, but if I'm going to allocate money towards something, I'm going to allocate it towards something that has a good back-tested record. The blue lines, the buy in the afternoon, sell in the morning. Orange lines, buy in the morning, sell in the afternoon. You can see there's a clear difference. The blue line has done much, much better than the orange line, but along the way, as with any other trading approach, there's ups and downs. Nothing is just go straight up. So, you know, this move down here was down for 2 years. This was like down a half, 1.5. This is down a half a year, but over time it's done well. So this is just a continuing trade for me that I buy every night, hold overnight, sell first thing the next morning. All right, so this one has done pretty well lately, I have to say, but this trade, not so hot tamale. I bought it Friday at 292.44, sold it this morning at 290.37 for a loss. But I'll tell you, with this trade here, I mean, it's, of course it's nice to win, but I have no anticipation or thoughts or projections anytime about this trade. It's just going to be a winner sometimes, it's going to be a loser sometimes, and this one, you know, I sold right at the low, but that's the trading plan. That's what I have to follow, and it's rallied back up nicely here today. So that's how it goes. I'll just buy this today again at the close of the market. IWM. All right, I did buy IWM back here on the 1st of May. I bought it when the 10 crossed over the 50 SMA. This is a good back-tested crossover approach. Long term, it has, I guess is the better word, back-tested profitably. Doesn't win every trade, but the thing about the crossover trades is that it allows you to get out quickly if you're wrong, and allows you the potential of having a big gain if you're right. And that's what trading is about, having possible large wins, small wins, break-even trades, and small losses. And this is exactly what crossover trades give you. Down 5 cents today. It was down much lower earlier. No change here whatsoever. So anyway, still, it's been a good trade, profitable, and we'll just see how it goes. But no profit targets on that today. No profit targets on anything today. Twitter. All right. I did buy Twitter back here on the 7th of May. I bought it when we had this V2. Here's day 1, day 2, day 3. Day 2 washes out day 1. Day 3 closed above day 1's close. It also closed above all the moving averages, or the main ones here, the 50, the 10, the 20, the 5. I bought it here at 28.73. Had a nice day on Friday. Took some profit targets up here. Today it was down earlier, and it's recovering now. It's only down 5 cents. So it hasn't moved more than 1 ATR above my entry. So there's no trailing stop in place. Anyway, pretty close to break even today, down 5 cents. All right. So all of my trades are down today. Boo. Right? Well, that's how it goes. I'll tell you, that is how it goes. You just never know. But let's take a look at some of your trades. I know you've had some up trades today. Gert had the largest percentage gain I've ever seen in this live stream. She bought SDPI on May 7th, bought it here at 44 cents. It went up something crazy like 55% yesterday. Up again today, 5.8%. So congratulations, Gert. Just make sure you have some kind of plan on it. You don't want to give all of that back. I know you would scale that to some, which I'm glad to see. It's having some problems here with this 200-day. All right, GameStop. All right, so Zach and Kamal and Dirk did buy GameStop. I did like this. It's a nice V2. Here's bar 1, bar 2, bar 3. Bar 2 washes out bar 1. Bar 3 closes above day 1's, bar 1's close. Also rejected the 200-day twice, but today it is down a bit. It looks like it might be losing the 200-day, and it looks like it's in jeopardy of losing the halfway of this washout bar. So this one's down a little bit today. All right, Bing He. Well, Bing He has been in this trade for a long time. This is TLT. He bought it back here on April 17th at 168.80. Initially went his way, but has just been in a downtrend here ever since. So Bing He, if you're around, if there's any changes on this, please let me know, okay? Gert also bought OMAB, bought it here at 30.65. Moved up nicely. She's still up on it. Stock's down a little bit today. So if there's any change on this trade here for you, Gert, if you're listening, please let me know. SPCE. So Steve and David and Karen and Zach are all in this trade. It looks like they bought it here around 1866. Immediately went way up, but it was off the top on Friday. Today it gapped down, reversed a little bit, but down 2% today. So if there's any changes for anyone, please let me know. But still, nice trade on that for everybody, percentage-wise. Bing He, nice trade here on ABT. Bought this on the 7th of May, 93.80. Nice, up 2.26% today. So if there's any changes there for you, Bing He, please let me know. Okay, AGQ. So Kamal, Steve, and Karen all bought AGQ, which is double leverage silver. I believe that Kamal bought it here. He was using the SLV as his crossover. He bought it at 21.39, moved up nicely on Friday, down today. He is still up on the trade. And then Steve and Karen, I believe, bought this on Friday at 21.94. They bought it a little higher because they waited one day. So that is down slightly today. IWC. Steve Burns did buy IWC here when the 10 crossed over the 50 EMA. Bought it at 78.50. Gap down, but up today a little bit. So that's good. So Steve and Karen both have that. Look at this beautiful trade from Glenn. Woo! Look at this. He bought this back here on the 7th of May. Bought it at 166.75. Moved up. And another big move up here today for Glenn. So congratulations, Glenn. That's a beautiful trade. And then lastly, Work. Glenn also bought Work here intraday on the 7th of May at 28.25. Had a huge day on Friday. Today, up a little bit. Up a little bit. It was off of its high, off of its low. So that looks pretty good. So everything looks pretty good there. So congratulations. There's some really, really nice trades in there. Frank says, had a nice day weekend trade in Codex. Bought at 15.40, out at 16.63. All right. Perfect. Let's see. Whoa, very nice. Very nice, Frank. Zach is here. Hey, buddy. GM, Amazon interesting retesting 24.16. Let's see. Yes, let's see. And we'll see what Amazon does. Kenny South Park. Yes, that's me. Kenny, I'm Gert, logged in with my son's account. Oh, perfect. We've had some really good trades. Took off some profits today as well. Good. GM, looking at Amazon, needs to close above 24.16 or else it will test the 23.88 area. Do you still have your puts on Amazon, GM? Boy, look at that. Boy, it just went down. It's just reversed back up, huh? Needs to close above 24.16. Well, we are there now. All right. All right. Let me check and see something here. Okay. All right. So listen, before we go down through my watch list, before we look for my end of day trade today, I do want to spend a few minutes and talk about trader psychology. Again, it's the most important part of trading. It's the most important skill you can learn to develop and hone. And there's some really good Twitter channels, really good Facebook channels out there that post really good things to think about as far as trading tips, trading words of wisdom, however you want to describe it. But one of my very favorite, this channel here just has such great stuff. So it's Trading Composure, at Trading Composure on Twitter. If you haven't subscribed here, you really should read everything that he writes and soak it all in. But if you constantly check your profit and loss, you'll tend to make compulsive trade adjustments, and then more often than not, you will get in trouble. Trust your process, learn to relax, and let the market deliver on its own time. There is so much wisdom in this saying. I can't even say I can't even convey how important this all is. If you consistently check your profit and loss, you will tend to make compulsive trade adjustments. That will more often than not get you into trouble. This is so true. Dr. Alexander Elder always suggested to me, turn off your profit and loss in your account. Don't look at it, because if you look at it, whether it's a loss or whether it's a gain, you're gonna calibrate it into, oh man, I've made this much, I could buy a jet ski, or oh, I could take a trip to Hawaii, right? Or if you have a loss, oh my gosh, that's more than I make in a month, and blah blah blah, right? But we always look at profit and losses and morph them into things we could do with it, buy with it, and like Trading Composure says, it will tend to make you have compulsive trade adjustments that go against your plan, right? And more often than not, it will get you in trouble. 100%. There is no doubt about that saying. I don't care who it is. If the more people make compulsive decisions, the worse it's going to be for them. I am speaking from experience here. I'm speaking from experience of other traders that I know. Man, the best thing you can do is just create your plan, let the plan play out. Trust your process. You have to have a good plan, right? Good setup, good trading plan, but trust it. Just relax and let the market deliver on its own time. And this is so true. Let the market deliver on its own time. If you want to make the market do something for you immediately, it never works. It never works. You're like, oh, I want to go to Europe. I need to make $5,000 real quick. Yeah, good luck. Good luck. 90% of the time you'll lose that 5,000 instead of make that 5,000. I promise you it's true. But if you let the market deliver on its own time, all of a sudden it becomes a whole different thing. If you just let it deliver on its own time, very often it will. It's a strange dynamic. I don't know how to explain it, but I guess if I had to try, it would be you created a plan and you let the plan play out. But if you look at the P&L all the time, then it gets in your head. Oh, look what I could do with this money. Or oh man, I should probably get out. You might get out even before your real stop has hit. And you put time and energy into creating that plan. Why not just follow it, right? So, if you have the ability to turn off the profit and loss on your brokerage account, and most of them have that function, you should probably do it. Just trade the plan. Don't trade the profit and loss. So thank you, Trading Composure. Really appreciate that. I think it's very good advice, and hopefully you'll take this in. Okay. GM says, I sold on the pullback. Okay, I kind of figured you did, and I took it off the board. Opening new position today if it goes as I mentioned. All right, well, like I said, when the market closes, everybody, if you want me to put new trades on the board, please let me know after the market closes, because when I start putting them on there and the prices, it takes up a lot of time, and I think it would just I would much rather do that after the market closes when I'm not up against the clock. Steve Burns says, wow, IBB Biotech. Yeah, I saw that earlier. Bam, look at that. Boy, that's a monster move, isn't it? That is a monster move, up 4.13%. Glenn says, hi, Greg. CRM is still matching in the right direction as well as work. Yeah, I went over those a little while ago. Fantastic trades, Glenn. Fantastic. And works up a little bit now too. I saw it was down earlier, but it's up now. So that's very good. Steve says, you can't force profits. The market gives you money on its own time frame when price action is conducive to your system's edge. 100%. Yeah, that's what I was just talking about with Trading Composure's little saying there. You can't force it. If you force it, trust me, if you're going to force the trade, please let everybody know so everybody will fade that position, because I'm telling you, 90% of the time, if you force a trade, it will not work. Just let the market give you money when it on its own time, not on your time. It's just one of the strange dynamics of trading. It really, really is. And I'm speaking from experience, and I'm speaking from people that I know. Whenever somebody calls me that's manic, this is too high, it can't go any higher, honestly, my first thought is I should buy that. I don't do it, but my first thought is that. Frank says, so true, Steve, but you can yell at the screen. You can yell at the screen. That is true. Bob says, thoughts on MU if it closes above the 200 with the 1050 cross? All right. Good question. Let me see whether or not how it backtests on the 1050. Oh, really? All right, give me a second. All right, let's type in MU. All right, and I am using this from etfreplay.com. I'm using this by written permission. So let's check them both, Bob. MU, just based upon the 200-day. Wow, pretty good. My gosh, did I do that right? Yeah, I did. Look at the difference between buying MU off of the 200-day compared to just buy and hold. Unbelievable. Drawdown was still a lot, but not as much as buy and hold. Let's check the 1050 EMA cross and see how that back tests. Wow. Both of those signals seem to be really good. Both of those signals seem to back test well. So let's take a look at MU. Oh, I hear what you're saying. Yeah. Well, the 1050 did cross there for sure. It looks like it's having some issues, but I think it's still above the 200. So not too bad for me. It's not too elevated. It's not over the second ATR channel. Let's look at the weekly. Yeah, weekly looks pretty good in the value zone. We had a V1 last week. MACD is positive. We're just above the 50. Yeah, that looks really good. You're going to have to decide though in your trade plan whether it's, your trade plan is holding it until the 10 crosses back below the 50, or if you're just going to base it off the 200. So I hope that helps, Bob. Oh, okay. GM says, I'm looking to open 220 puts. 220. So up around here. 220 puts, July 19th. Not sure I'll be here after market close. Okay. Well, I'll try to go back there and get those on there. I'm running a little bit, just a touch behind here. Let me take a look. Okay. I have to make an adjustment in another account that I manage. Okay. Give me a sec. All right. And one more. Okay, good. That is taken care of. June, not July. Okay, I will go back over those and post those. All right. Well, let's get to it. See what's happening. Anything today? Apple, big day today. I mean, this thing has just gone up straight line. It's looks like it rejected the 70 RSI here today. If I was in this trade, I wish I was, but if I was in this trade today, I would be getting out. I would clear out of this position, lock in profits, if it closes under the 70. You have a lot of people selling there. You have shorts coming in to sell there. So you're starting to get some, that's why you get selling pressure at the 70 RSI. Doesn't mean it can't close above. And if I had this position and it closed above the 70, I would keep it. But I don't see anything here. I'd like to see a proper pullback here to the value zone for me to get interested. I mean, this has had a big run up. Doesn't mean it can't continue up, and probably more likely than not it will. But again, I have to stick with my plan, look for the correct entry. Adobe, very strong today, up percent, bullish engulfing bar, but we're right up here against the third ATR channel. Remember that third ATR channel, 92% of the time, prices will stop. In the best case, they'll just go sideways or down a little bit. In the worst case, that's the top. But a lot of times they'll go sideways, consolidate, and then move up higher and try to test that third ATR channel again. But again, I need a pullback into value for me to get interested. Amazon, strange chart, just down here in the value zone immediately, like just up against the 1 ATR channel. I would imagine this would add some kind of resistance here, but nothing here for me. Boeing, I have that V2 and the false breakout from that previous low was good on Friday, but it's given some back today. But glad I took some profits and glad it's still profitable. Berkshire Hathaway, boy, this stock has really struggled ever since Warren Buffett had their conference. I mean, look at this. This has just gone down. I mean, this is probably one of my favorite stocks for long term right now. They're so well diversified. They have such good management skills and so forth. But right now, they're not doing so hot. I'd be looking for an under 30, over 30. Beyond Meat, a little bit of a bearish bar here. Was up higher, reversed back. Nothing that I want to do. I don't want to short it. Look for a pullback. Caterpillar just kind of been moving sideways, not really participating in the rally we've had lately, but most of the rally has been tech, to be fair. Carnival down a little bit today, right here in the value zone. We did have a V2 here, but that day one bar was just too large, so I really don't see anything on Carnival. Dow, just kind of range bound here. I don't see anything there. Walt Disney, nice day on Friday. Today, gap down, went down, reversed back up, but I don't see anything new here. Etsy, oh, surprised to see Etsy down. Etsy's never down. So it looks like it's running out of a little bit of juice here. I mean, it's going up, but it's coming off its high, but I just look for a pullback, maybe the 200-day. Facebook, I believe, is up. Yeah, it's up pretty good, but just too high. Looking for a pullback off of the 200-day, a pullback to the 200-day. I would be interested. Gold, I've been waiting for a signal on gold. We were above the 1 ATR channel. We moved into the value zone. We've just kind of been moving sideways. Haven't been going up much. Haven't been going down much. So there are some buyers here. Potentially, I could get a V2 to the upside tomorrow. Here's day one. Day two washes out tomorrow. might get a V2 to the upside. Or possibly the 5 crossing under the 20 and back over would be a good reset for that crossover. Google up nicely today. Boy, we're getting up there. We're getting up into that near 70 RSI range and the confluence with the third ATR channel. So I'm definitely not going to be buying up here. Goldman Sachs is down. I don't see anything there. Home Depot, look at this, man. This is just unbelievable. So strong. But again, getting near the 70 RSI, which 90% of the time, that's where you're going to stall out. IBB, we talked about that earlier with Steve. Huge day. Again, near the third ATR channel, near the 70 RSI. There's a lot of not sell signals, but an area where possible sellers would come in. Intel up a little bit today. I don't see anything on Intel. IWM I have. It is down today. Johnson & Johnson, boy, I really like this pullback into the value zone. I really like this sideways motion, but I really don't see a signal yet. And this is what I was just talking about with Quad Racer. If it goes racing up, I'll be, dang it, I knew that looked good. But again, I need a clean, valid signal that's legitimate and that also gives me a very clear stop. If I'm wrong, but I do like the sideways motion. This should move one way or the other here, but I need the signal first. CarMax, don't really see anything on CarMax here. Coca-Cola had a nice day on Friday, giving back. Zach, if you're out there, you're seeing how today is holding halfway of Friday's Fibonacci level. Lockheed Martin, down today under the 200. MasterCard down a little bit, but well off of its lows. Looks like it could possibly get over this second or the 200-day moving average, but we're getting close to that third. And look at the confluence there with the third ATR channel and the 100-day moving average. So I'm not going to do anything with that. McDonald's. Yeah, it's okay. It has a higher low V1, but that's about all that it has. Merck, big day today up on Merck, but I don't see anything there. Microsoft, look at this bullish engulfing bar. Lower than Friday's low, higher than Friday's high. But again, we're just up into this stratosphere area here where it doesn't offer me a good risk to reward. Netflix up a bit today. He had a nice trade off of Netflix that he bought here in the value zone. Nike, not too bad with the close over the 200-day. MACD went positive yesterday. Let's look at the weekly on Nike. Yeah, well, we had big move down, sideways motion here. And so we could either break to the upside or to the downside. Philip Morris down today. Don't see anything there. PayPal just moved sideways ever since earnings. We're up at that 6th ATR channel. Boy, that's pretty extreme. Q's right up against the 3rd ATR channel. Silver I have is down a little bit today, but still positive on the trade. SPY did get whacked up a little bit on the overnight SPY trade, but I will take another shot at it and buy at the close today. Teladoc, this is the one that Quad Racer was talking about. I mean, it did have a higher low V1. It did, but it didn't close below the -1 ATR channel. So this to me is just a lower high. And if I have a lower high, I like to see it wash out the lower low. But the market didn't care what I thought or care about my setup, and that's just how it goes. But huge day today. TLT is down. We're getting down to the -3rd ATR channel. 92% of prices tend to bounce around here, but I'm not going to buy it just based upon the bounce off the 3rd ATR channel. I would need something else like a V1, V2 confluence of the 30 RSI, something like that. Tesla has been pretty dramatic lately in the news and so forth. It was down, well, it's down a little bit, but reversed well off there, but I don't see anything there. Twitter, I have had that nice return to value V2 in the value zone. Great day on Friday, down a little bit today, no profit targets. United Continental down 5.82%. That's quite a bit. Nothing there. UNG, which is natural gas, it's holding at the -1 ATR channel, but I don't see anything there either. UNH, well, we're consolidating. We were in the value zone. We were above the value zone, in the value zone, sideways motion. I would take a V1 or V2 if I had a good V1 or V2 in the future here. Oil is down today. Look at this sideways motion here. So I have a feeling oil is going to bust out one way or the other. Just not sure when or in what direction. VIX, I'm sure, is down today. Ooh, big time. Big time, big time. Nothing on VIX. Verizon, just kind of range bound. Walgreens, don't see anything there either. Walmart, just up a little bit, but I don't see anything. Energy, boy, that's been pretty volatile. Up and down in gaps and all sorts of stuff. Pretty tame day. Financials are down today. Real estate, don't see anything there. Utilities, I do not see anything on utilities either. Healthcare, ooh, well, here's our sideways motion. We've had a nice break outside of there, 60 RSI. I'm not going to buy this over the 1 ATR channel, and I think Zoom had a big day today too as well. Yeah, up 7.62%. So honestly, I don't see anything here. I'm really kind of stalking Johnson & Johnson, waiting for a valid setup there. Nike, I guess you could buy it over the 200-day. Let me check real quick and see how Nike backtest over the 200-day. Not as good as buy and hold for sure. I mean, it does backtest positively, only has a winning percentage of 20% of the time. So I think I'll probably pass on that. Micron did backtest well over the 200. What are we at? We're right at the 200 right now. I mean, that would give a good risk to reward ratio, and it does backtest well. That's for sure. Let me look at the weekly again. Well, it's above all the moving averages. It's not too bad. Yeah, I mean, it does backtest well. Let's see what the winning percentage is. Only 16.7%. So using that 200-day on Micron, look at these strings of losses. Then you'll get a monster string of losses, monster. So I think I'm probably just going to pass on that. But having that 1050 EMA crossover is also good for sure. Let me see on the current positions if there's any changes I have to make here. Boeing, no, it has not moved above the 1 ATR channel, so nothing there. I'll just hold that. Silver has come back a little bit, close to even, so no change there. SPY, we'll buy the SPY again after the overnight loss. IWM, there we go. No change on IWM, but nicely profitable. Twitter, down today, but still profitable. No change there. Steve says, it looks like I will be buying BABA. Oh, let's take a look at BABA. I don't have that on my watch list. I know that has a good back test. Let's see. Oh, the 520. Yeah, the 520 is I like that. Let's take a look. I did not have that on my watch list. Let me run some numbers here. All right. Thank you for that, Steve. Yeah, so the 5 is 200.48. The 20 is 200.21. So yes, I don't like that it's rejected that 200-day there. Let's take a look. This is nice. I like the crossover that just happened on the weekly. So yeah, thank you, Steve. Appreciate that. And then SSO, I don't think I'm going to personally take SSO just because I have the overnight SPY trade. Bing He, hey Greg, cut loss for TLT. Oh, okay, I'm glad to hear that. That one just didn't go your way, did it? Gert says, have to leave now. Enjoy the rest of your day, Greg and all. Thank you. Nathan Carroll, hey Nathan, good to see you. Tilray. Well, we did have a V2 here. Here's day 1, day 2, washed out day 1, day 3, closed above day 1's close. Looked like day 1 may have, but I like that it's moved into the value zone, had some sideways movement. Oh, earnings. Nathan, were earnings this morning or were they this afternoon? If they're this afternoon, me personally, I would not buy this. I don't like to hold through earnings, but maybe they came out this morning. I'm not 100% sure, but I do like the structure. I do like the above the value zone. I like into the value zone. I like the sideways motion. It technically had a trigger here back on the 6th or the 7th, but it has moved up nicely, and we know these stocks can run. Let's look at the weekly. Don't like the weekly so much, but you know, me personally, I'm not going to buy into earnings. Glenn says, Bob at target 235 will add on close as well. Still holding CRM and work. Oh, it's after the bell. Okay. Yeah. Well, do what you're going to do. You know, sometimes holding through earnings pays off, but a lot of times it doesn't. I like Bob and Steve. Count me in. Good. Let's take a look. What do we have? 3 minutes. Baba, 520. Let's run the back test. Yeah, it back tests well. Better overall return than buy and hold. About just a little less than half the drawdown. So that does make sense. Thank you for pointing that out. I should probably keep Baba on my screen. Quad Racer, you know, there's a lot of places you can go, but I have them on my chart right here. See the little E for earnings? So that tells me, although this isn't always correct. So I'll just type into Google, what's the earnings date for Tilray, or what's the earnings date for Alibaba? And then it will just pop right up. Then it will tell me if it's in the morning or if it's in the afternoon. But it's just a Google search. It's not a particular site. All right, let me take a look here. Oops, that's not going to work. All right. It looks like Baba 200.48 compared to 200.21. All right, we have 5 minutes to go. I think that is going to hold. Okay, so let me make a couple adjustments here. I trade this other account and they're different trades, so I have to. Okay. All right, let me enter BABA. Okay, there's that. And over here. Okay. End of day SPY trade order is in. All right. And it looks like that micron just barely under that 200 day. Oh, silver, go positive there, boy. Let's take a quick look over here and see what's going on. So Gert's doing well. Glad to see that closing above the 200. GME, this one looks like it's closing under the 200. OMAB, Gert with another positive trade here. Virgin Galactic down a bit today, but still nicely up for Steve, Dave, Karen, and Zach. Abbott, nice trade, Abbott, or nice trade being he. Then AGQ double leverage down a little bit today. IWC for Steve up slightly for Steve and Karen. Huge day for Glenn. Congratulations, my friend, and glad to see work up as well. Oh man, pretty decent trade on BABA so far. Glad to say. Being he, Greg, can you look at INCY? Ooh, it's a nice V2. That's definitely a nice V2. I like the sideways. See, we had the lower high, but then we washed out the low Friday, and now we have a nice V2. Yeah, this is pretty good. Yeah, I kind of like that. Still in the value zone. 60 RSI is a little high there, but strong day. Nathan says, what's the size of your position? You know, Nathan, I have a video. It's in the description of this live stream just down below. I have a video where I talk about how I position size, but essentially I figure out what my maximum loss is. And, you know, let's say I'm going to use a 1% maximum loss. So let's say I have $100,000 in my account. I'm going to risk 1%, which is $1,000. I take $1,000, I divide it by what the value is of the 2 ATR, and that tells me exactly how many shares to buy. And it accounts for volatility. So, you know, basically, if I was going to buy INCY today, I would say, okay, 1% maximum loss is $1,000 on my $100,000 account, divided by 705, it would tell me to buy 141.8 or 142 shares. But to me, that's the best way to position size. If volatility is less, you use a higher position. If volatility is more, it will kick out a lower position, size. So, and I like that it accounts for volatility. So I you know, that way you can standardize your losses whether you're in a flat market, a big up market, big down market, but that is how I position size. Or your bid. Most of the time I just buy at market. I mean, I'm buying large liquid stocks that have a very tight bid-ask spread, so I don't usually put limit orders in. Okay. All right, well, let's take a look, see where I got filled on this stuff today. So Alibaba, I bought that a little early, and I'm glad I did. 205.41. And SPY at 292.50. All right. So here's BABA with the 520 crossover. Bought this here at 205. Oh, how rude. I looked at my profit and loss earlier and it showed a nice little profit. And now it's not. Okay. Don't count your chickens, right? All right. So I did buy it there at 205.41, 520 crossover. My profit target up here is going to be a 70 RSI. If the price closes below both the 5 and the 20, I'll get out of half my position. If the 5 crosses under the 20, I will get out of my full position. And of course, I will scale out, hit profit targets on the way up if it moves up. And then SPY, the overnight SPY trade, 292.50. No day trades for me today. I just didn't see anything. There we go. All right, so Binghe is out of TLT. Wow. Okay. Steve says, okay, wait. Kamal, out of GME. Okay. I think, I think that's good. I think that's a good call. There's Kamal. It didn't like the 200. I mean, that's telling you something. So Zach and Dirk, I still have in unless I get an update. Bob says, did not take MU, closed under 200. Joined you all in BABA. All right. So we have Steve. We have Frank. And we have Bob. Yeah, I mean, we don't know if this is going to be a profitable trade or not, but it backtests well. It's a clean trade. It's a valid trade. It gives you a good trade setup and plan, of what to do no matter what works here. Steve says, no SSO entry. The signal faded. Okay. Wiener Dog, hey, good to see you. So good afternoon, all. I'm in BABA as well. All right. Everybody's piling into BABA. Karen and Steve, yep, gotcha. Steve says, I'm still long IWC, IWM, AGQ, Spice, and BABA. Yep, that's what I have you down for. So I've got Steve here with AGQ, Virgin Galactic, BABA, and IWM over here, along with Steve and Frank and myself. All right, good. Listen, if you have any other Don Robbins, Greg, I'm bobbed up as well. All right. Well, whenever Donnie is in a trade, that's a good sign because Donnie has the golden touch. So we should all be happy that Donnie's in here with us. Donnie was one of my first students. Donnie was one of my very, very first students. Boy, did we spend a lot of time, didn't we? Yep. I used to date Donnie's sister, and that's how we got to meet. But I'm sure glad I did. He's a good friend. It's a great student and turned out to be a really, really good trader. Listen, before I take a look and see if you have any other adjustments for your trades or answer any more questions, I just quickly want to put in my daily plug and let everybody know that I do offer private one-on-one coaching and teaching lessons in the evening time via Skype. I've traded for 24 years. I've studied with four wonderful teachers and traders and mentors. Steve Burns is one, Dr. Elder, Dr. Alexander Elder, Kerry Lavorne, Larry Williams, and everything that I've learned from them, plus all my experience, is what I teach in a course. The course is 5 sessions. Each session is 3 hours, so it's a 15-hour course. I teach, like I said before, I teach you everything I've learned, entries, exits, all different type of setups depending on what kind of market conditions you have. We talk a lot about position sizing, risk management, psychology, everything that we discuss here, but it's one-on-one, and it makes a big difference. I had a lot of people say, you should teach like a course where a lot of people come, or just have a recorded course. And I just really feel like the best way to learn, whether it's trading or whether it's playing guitar or anything else, is to do it one-on-one. And so that is why, when I started this channel and the course, I was like, I'm going to do this one-on-one, because it's best for the student. You learn the best. And in the course, we do a lot of chart study. I ask you, I teach, then I ask you a lot of questions. You have to teach it back to me. We do all sorts of simulations, but you have to break down the chart. What's the next trade? Where's our entry? What's better, this trade or that trade? Where are your profit targets? Where's your stop loss? What's your correlation? So I think you really will enjoy the course. I've had really good feedback from my clients, and I think you'll enjoy it. It is $1,000, but I think it's worth every penny. I really, really do, for all the experience and all the things I've learned that I put into it. And so if you're interested, please let me know. You can send me an email. The email's in the description of this video. You can also send me a message on Twitter. But before I take on a new student, I like to have a Skype call with them. It's totally free, and I promise you there's no obligation. I just want to get to know the student a little bit better. What are they expecting in the course? And then it's a good time for them to ask me questions about the course, and so I can explain in detail. And I like to ask questions to the student, about their trading career and their challenges and their goals, just to see if we're a good fit. So, and like I said, it's totally free, and there's no pressure on my end whatsoever. I hate that when people try to pressure me into something, but I just want to see if we're a good fit. And so if you're interested, let me know. And then if you like today's podcast, I would really appreciate it if you could just take a half a second and hit the thumbs up button before you click out of here. Helps the channel grow. A lot of people out there need to learn some good trading principles, and that's what I try to provide here. So, all right. Thanks for hanging through that with me. Donnie's in Baba. It's a Baba party. Tom Lindbergh, hey, how you doing? I bought Netflix 18 years ago. Now I have too much money. Well, good for you, Tom. Fantastic. Boy, if you're going to buy and hold one stock, it is Netflix. But very good to hear. Very good to hear. Nathan Carroll says, Tilray quarterly revenue increased 126% to $52 million compared to the first quarter, sequentially from the fourth quarter 2019. Tom Lindbergh, Larry Williams, wow, he is a legend. Yes, I studied with Larry Williams 20 years ago or so. I first started out trading futures, but I got to know Larry really well. Yep, he's still around. Let's see, what is Tilray doing after hours? What's the symbol now? TLRY. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, it's up 10 cents. That was kind of anticlimactic. Bing He said, I saw 5 EMA, 20 EMA for AMD last Friday, but the close price is outside of the third ATR monthly chart. Yeah, it's up there pretty high, for sure. The weekly wasn't too bad. Yeah, yeah, it is up there pretty high. It's, you know, getting up to the third ATR channel on an intraday is one thing. It's not as hard to do on a daily. It's harder to do on the weekly, on the monthly, but it is hard to get something up on the weekly or the monthly up to the third ATR channel. So you didn't take that, I assume. GM says, retesting, S&P, retesting 2905 area. Big boys cashed out near close today. Did they? Let's take a look. Yeah. This is the SPY, not ES, but there was, look at the selling in that last 5 minutes. Boom. Tom says, did you ever use the OOP strategy? I certainly did. I certainly did. You know, Tom, a big part of how I trade are V1s and V2s. And sometimes, how should I put this? Not all V1s and V2s are oopses, but a lot of oopses are V1s. What was it? Was it Teladoc? Well, yeah. So this was a V1. It wasn't an oops. An oops, everyone, is when you gap down and then, you know, let's see if I can find an example. This is an oops right here. You see how we gap down and reverse back up? That is what Larry Williams calls an oops. And it means oops, well, it went down and went, oops, it's too low, or we want to go the other way. That's why it's called. But you can see this is a V1. Here's day one, day two washes out day one, day two closes above day one's close. So it is a V1 and an oops. And, you know, the idea between a V1, V2, or an oops is similar, that it goes down, tests that area, doesn't like it, and comes back up. Hey, thanks, Tom. Thanks for the blast from the past with the oops. Quad says, thumbs up as always. Thank you, bud. Appreciate it. Looking forward to seeing you on Wednesday. Glenn says, CDNS breaking out with more above 82. Target 100. Let's take a look. CDNS. Well, this is the weekly chart on CDNS. We've certainly moved sideways. Remember, when you move sideways, that thing is eventually going to break. See how we moved sideways here? And then broke to the downside. Now we're sideways. Again, we don't know if it's going to break up or down. That's the thing, and we don't know when it's going to happen. But I'm pretty sure that this is going to break one way or the other. And, you know, which way it's going to break, I don't know. For me, the way that I trade, Glenn, I don't see a clear signal for me here. No crossovers. There's a crossover way back when, obviously, that did well. But here right now, let's see, did it break out? Yeah, it did. You're right. It broke out. So, you know, in this situation, you know, the way a lot of breakout traders would work this is that, okay, I'm going to buy on the breakout. I'll sell if it comes back in the range. Remember, I always talked about false breakouts to the downside or the upside. If this broke out, but if it comes back down, then it will be a false breakout to the upside. But if it keeps up there, then it could go rolling again, especially it could break out of this weekly range, maybe get up to, You know, the third ATR channel's here 90, but possibly could get to 100. Dan says, thumbs up 50% now. Thanks, Greg. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So any other changes with anyone on their positions? I didn't really see. I saw, okay, a lot of people got into BABA. Kamal got out of GME. Ooh, Tilray's down 5% now. Nathan, did you take Tilray? Be honest. Bing He says, Glenn, I was taught breakout needs volume. It helps. It helps. Breakouts, the better breakouts do tend to have volume. A lot of people participating in that volume. Well, we did have increased volume today over yesterday, though, Bing He. Zach says, still in SPCA, and that's all I've got. At the moment. Okay. Well, it was down today, but this trade's really good so far, up 4%. So that's good. All right, so a down day for me. Boy, I've had some good up days lately, but that's part of the ebb and flow of trading, isn't it? I guess the one takeaway is that silver closed even. That was my bright spot on the day. Nathan says 200 shares. Okay, I feel it will come back easy. I'm a fan of 420 stocks. All right, well, I hope it does. But just little fatherly advice, you know, just make sure you understand where your pain threshold is, Nathan, right? I talked the other day about having a real strong conviction about something when the market's going against you. You know, just make sure that you don't bet your life on one particular trade, and that you have some area where it just tells you, okay, I'm wrong, I have to get out. Glenn says, I like gold. Yeah, let me put Tilray up here for Nathan. All right, Nathan. I assume you got it close to the close, unless you want to give me an exact. And we'll get Nathan up here. All right. Good. You're on the board, Nathan. Glenn says, I like gold, but we are entering the weak season for gold. Yeah. A lot of commodities and things have, you know, seasonalities to them. I like gold as well. Ooh, Tilray's already back to flat. Sweet. I like gold too. I just don't have the setup, but I like this sideways motion. You know, we return to the mean. We return to the value zone. I like the sideways motion a lot, but I just need a trigger. But, you know, if something's in a week, if it's a stock or commodities weak seasonally, I'm still going to take the trade if I have a valid trade, but I do like gold. I really do. Bob says it can't decide if it likes the news. Yeah, that's how it works sometimes. It was like PayPal the other day in Square. They were down 4, 5, 6% after hours. The next day they were up 8%. So you never know. Nathan says, this is money I could afford to lose, never play with the needed funds. Besides, I spent more in 1 week at the dispensary than the cost of 200 shares at 803. 803, gotcha. All right. Got you down, Nathan. All right, everybody. Well, listen, if you have any final thoughts or questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to get out of here, put on my hiking boots, go for a nice hike. It's a beautiful day here in Utah. I'm looking forward to my call tonight with Andrea, one of my students. With my students, I always, after the course is done, I always like to schedule a follow-up call, just see how they're doing, see if they have any questions after they've been off on their own for a bit. But Andrea is such a great lady, and man, am I impressed with her. So I'm looking forward to chatting with her. Okily dokily. Nathan says, awesome. Just found this channel. Plan on coming back on the regular. Thank you, Nathan. Appreciate that. Where do you live? Are you in Colorado, California? I don't know why. I thought one of those two places, maybe somewhere else. Zach, Greg, thank you for what you do every day. Great and insightful stream as always. Thank you, Zach. Appreciate it. Zach says, tell Andrea I have been thinking about her son. Hope he is doing well. Yes, that is one of the things we are going to be talking about tonight. I will definitely tell her hi, Zach, for sure. And Karen, thank you. Have a great day. You too. Appreciate you being here. And thanks, Nathan. I appreciate you becoming a regular. I really do. And we'll be rooting for your Tilray stock. Dan says, Glenn, interesting. May I ask where to find seasons? Oh, you're in Pittsburgh. Okay, great. You know, on my charting platform here, Trade Navigator, there is a function in here. There's an indicator that shows seasons. I've never put it on there. You know, I know Larry Williams did teach seasonality as well. I'll have to see if I can find that, but I don't think I'm going to have it for, well, maybe it is for stocks. I'm not sure. Glenn, Tesla, Dexcom, blah, 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 are on my watch list for the next few months. Yeah, Dexcom, that's the insulin company, I believe. Oh yeah, boy, that's been in a nice move up, hasn't it? Up 3.91% today. Wow. Wow. Whoa. Wow. Unbelievable. Balam Wolden. Boy, I probably butchered that name. I apologize. But hi, I'm new to your channel. Thanks. You are welcome. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. So, all right, listen, go out, try to do something nice for somebody today. Just give them a call, say hi, let them know you're thinking about them. It really might make their day, or just, you know, be kind and pleasant to somebody today. Do something, just a nice little act of kindness, right? It goes a long way. And also, speaking of kindness, if you wouldn't mind hitting the thumbs up button before you get out of here, I would appreciate it. So thanks again for coming, everyone. Nice to see you. Hope you have a nice evening, and hope to see you back here tomorrow. We'll see what the market brings for us tomorrow. Should be interesting. All right. Take care. Have a good day. Bye-bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.